Sure, yeah, I'm happy to be here. Let's see. So, my name is Essence Harden. I am an independent curator and I write about art for various publications from Oakland, California. And I went to Berkeley for my undergrad and graduate degrees, one of which is not done. It's a PhD and it's just it's floating out there in ABD status. My work, broadly speaking, is interested in Black visual culture, artists who are practicing in Los Angeles and California more broadly. I really am intrigued by this idea of like the West and what it's meant for Black folks in particular. But curatorially, I propose a series of questions over various exhibitions, not necessarily all with Black people, but I would say my scholarship or curiosities, in school and education, which took me here on this path of curating art, influenced me still quite a bit today. I kind of jot down a bunch of questions when I'm reading. And I like to think of those questions as sort of like prompts for me to consider what creating a more visual or performance landscape in relationship to those words might be. And so, blues was something like that for me. It started with books and studio visits, and it ended up being what it is at ESMoA. I was hanging out with a friend and like doing more astronomy stuff and learning about like constellations, and, like looking at planets. And this idea of blue as a color spectrum was really kind of an investment in this like idea around space. And I thought of how blue kind of it holds a variety of meanings, right? There's the color, there's this idea around like heat and around newness, about it being, an optical illusion of sorts, and how lots of indigenous cultures don't have a word for blue, right? Because it is so prominent as sky and as sea. So that's what you would call something. How it's rare as like a gem or a stone color, like this, all these things with blue that I was like, oh, this is so interesting and weird, and that's fun. And then also blues as, a music that comes from Black Americans in the South and has created the landscape of music in which we all live in today. As a mood, as a disposition, as a way to exercise an emotion is very interesting to me. So then there's this kind of tonality to it, right? There's this way that blue and blues create their own genre unto themselves. And I thought that would be a title that could get me a type of broad spectrum approach, to an exhibition where people might assume they know or understand something, but when they walk in, when they arrive, I should say, that they would have a different experience. So, it's visual, but like say Young's work also has like a component with smell. Chris Chow's work has these little bells on it, which are actually supposed to be kind of microtones. There's like an airflow, the light that comes in and out of ESMoA because of the skylights changes what the exhibition actually looks and feels like, I think, pending on time of day, pending on the weather outside. So there's the main space, and then we have the library space, and I hope everyone kind of visits both spaces and has a relationship to the extension of the exhibition that lives outside of, just like the main floor space, because the entrance feels quite different. I want them all to feel connected, and like there's kind of a little geography being mapped in El Segundo right now. I hope it slows people down, and I hope it is a type of a cleansing experience and a reordering of sorts, that your atoms get a little disrupted and reordered to some degree. Whenever a question about outcomes, I'm always like, wow, like I have never worked in an institution because I actually have no idea what to say. So I'm always like, I want people to just like flow different. But yeah, that's what I want.